Have you ever wondered why, even when you eat well, walk every day, and take all your vitamins, your muscles still feel weaker than they used to? You're doing everything right. At least that's what you've been told. But what if the missing piece isn't what you take? It's when you take it. Every night while you sleep, your body performs its most powerful repair work. Between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., your muscles, bones, and even your heart cells quietly rebuild themselves. But here's the surprising truth. Many women over 60 unknowingly interrupt this natural repair cycle without realizing it. It's not about how much protein you eat or how often you move. It's about giving your body the right nutrients at the right time when it's naturally ready to heal. And tonight, I want to show you something most people overlook: 2 simple vitamins that may help your body rebuild muscle strength overnight. They're safe, easy to find, and especially important for women in their 60s and beyond. You'll also discover 3 common supplements that are best avoided at night, because they can quietly disrupt your body's recovery rhythm. So if you've been feeling tired, sore, or weaker lately, it's not your fault. Your body is simply waiting for you to realign with its natural rhythm. And once you do, everything changes: strength, energy, even how deeply you sleep. Let's begin. For many women, turning 60 brings a strange mix of peace and frustration. You finally have more time for yourself to read, to travel, to enjoy the quiet, and yet, your body starts sending messages you don't always understand. Your legs feel heavier after a short walk. You wake up more tired than when you went to bed. And sometimes, even a jar on the kitchen shelf feels harder to open than it used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I hear it from women every single week. They eat their vegetables, take their supplements faithfully, even stretch before bed, yet their strength keeps slipping away, quietly, year after year. And the worst part isn't the weakness itself. It's the feeling that your body is no longer listening to you. But here's the truth that too few people talk about. Your body isn't failing you. It's simply adapting to a new rhythm. A rhythm shaped by age, hormones, and sleep. After menopause, estrogen levels drop, and that tiny change affects everything from your bones to your muscles to the way you rest at night. Deep sleep becomes shorter. Growth hormone peaks for less time. And that means your body has fewer hours to rebuild what the day has worn down. Carol, one of my patients, told me something that broke my heart. She said, "I used to feel strong inside my skin. Now, it feels like I'm living in someone else's body." She was walking every morning, eating balanced meals, and still felt her legs weakening. But it wasn't her willpower. It was timing. When we adjusted her evening routine, the timing of her vitamins, the kind of dinner she had, and how she wound down before bed, everything began to shift. Within a few weeks, she felt lighter, calmer, steadier on her feet. Not younger, but stronger in a quieter, wiser way. And that's what I want for you too. Not quick fixes or empty promises, but understanding. Because once you understand your body's new rhythm, you can work with it instead of against it. And that's when real strength begins to return. So where does that rhythm begin? The one that helps your body rebuild strength while you sleep. It begins long before you close your eyes. In fact, your muscles, your bones, even your heart tissue depend on what you give them in the hours leading up to bedtime. Between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., your body quietly enters its repair mode. It releases growth hormones, restores muscle fibers, and directs calcium into your bones. But this process depends on having the right nutrients ready to do their job. Most women focus on what to eat during the day: protein shakes, green vegetables, calcium-rich foods. But few realize that the body's rebuild window happens when you're asleep. And if your body doesn't have the right building blocks available at that time, that precious window closes before repair can begin. The good news is you don't need more pills or complicated routines. You just need to know which nutrients work best at night and which ones quietly interfere. Let's start with the first one, a vitamin that acts like a switch for your body's nighttime repair system. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked nutrients when it comes to nighttime muscle and bone repair: vitamin D3. Now, most people think of vitamin D3 as the sunshine vitamin. We associate it with bone health or mood, maybe even immunity. But very few women realize that vitamin D3 quietly plays a deeper role in how your body repairs itself while you sleep. It's not just about absorbing calcium, it's about signaling your muscles and bones to rebuild. Here's how it works. Inside your muscle cells are tiny receptors called VDRs, vitamin D receptors. When vitamin D3 enters your system, it wakes up these receptors, almost like flipping on a light switch. Once active, they tell your muscle fibers to pull in calcium and phosphorus from the food you ate earlier that day. These two minerals are essential. They help your muscle fibers contract, rebuild, and grow stronger during deep sleep. That's why your nighttime D3 level can make such a difference. Without enough of it, that repair message simply never gets delivered. Research from Harvard University followed more than 400 seniors with low vitamin D levels for 8 months. Those who took vitamin D3 daily gained almost 3 pounds of lean muscle mass, while the group who didn't supplement gained barely half a pound. The difference wasn't exercise, it was activation. But vitamin D3's role doesn't stop there. When your body reaches healthy levels, it naturally encourages the production of testosterone, a hormone both men and women need for muscle growth and energy. In women over 60, even a modest boost in nighttime testosterone can make your body more efficient at using protein to build new tissue while you sleep. Another overlooked benefit is inflammation control. Tiny micro tears happen in your muscles every time you move, from carrying groceries to stretching in bed. Vitamin D3 helps calm that inflammation, allowing your body to rebuild more smoothly, without the stiffness or soreness many women wake up with. So, how much is enough? For most adults, around 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day is considered safe. That's roughly 10 times what you'd get from sunlight alone, especially if you live in northern states or spend most of your time indoors. But remember, vitamin D3 works best when taken with a meal that includes healthy fats. That's because it's fat-soluble, meaning your body absorbs it more efficiently when paired with olive oil, avocado, salmon, or nuts. Here's a simple way to make it part of your dinner routine. Imagine this: a warm plate of grilled salmon drizzled with olive oil, a side of roasted mushrooms with rosemary, and a small serving of mashed sweet potatoes with a little grass-fed butter. This combination provides your body with not only vitamin D, but also the fats it needs to absorb it properly. And if you finish that meal with a small glass of fortified milk or soy milk, your body will have everything it needs to begin its nighttime repair work once you fall asleep. Now, let's talk about a small but powerful partner nutrient that often gets forgotten: vitamin K2, particularly the form called MK7. Think of vitamin D3 and K2 as dance partners. D3 tells your body to absorb calcium, while K2 tells it where to go. Without K2, that calcium can end up in the wrong places, like arteries or soft tissue, instead of your bones and muscles. For women over 60, that combination is vital, especially if you're managing bone density or concerned about osteoporosis. You can find natural sources of vitamin K2 in foods like aged cheese, egg yolks from pasture-raised hens, or fermented foods like natto. If you choose to take a supplement, make sure it's discussed with your doctor, particularly if you're on blood thinners such as warfarin, because K2 can affect how those medications work. Let's go back to Carol for a moment. The woman who said she felt like she was living in someone else's body. When we tested her vitamin D levels, they were half of what's considered healthy. She'd stopped going outdoors during the winter, and she avoided fortified foods because she thought they were too processed. Her intentions were good, but her body was running low on the very nutrient that signals repair. We made just 3 small changes. First, she started taking 2,000 IU of D3 with her evening meal. Second, she switched her dinner from low-fat to healthy fat, adding salmon or avocado most nights. Third, she included a bit of vitamin K2 from aged cheese twice a week. Within a month, Carol told me something beautiful. She said, "I didn't realize my body could still respond that fast. I wake up feeling put together again." Her strength returned, not dramatically, but steadily, the way a sunrise replaces the dark. Now, before you rush to your cabinet, a few safety notes. If you have kidney disease, thyroid issues, or are taking diuretics or calcium supplements, talk to your doctor before adding vitamin D3. These conditions can affect how your body handles calcium, and your healthcare provider can help you find the right balance. And remember, more isn't always better. The goal isn't to flood your body with vitamins, it's to restore a natural rhythm. For most women, testing vitamin D levels once or twice a year is enough to see where you stand. Many labs now offer simple finger prick tests you can do at home. Or you can ask your doctor to check your 25-hydroxy-D level during your next visit. If you prefer to keep things natural, there are gentle ways to raise your D3 without supplements. Spend 10 to 15 minutes in the morning sun, ideally before 10 a.m., with your face and arms exposed. Light morning sunlight is less intense and can help your body produce vitamin D naturally, while also setting your circadian rhythm for better sleep that night. For those who live in colder regions, food still matters. Canned sardines, mackerel, and fortified cereals or plant milks can all add small but meaningful amounts of D3. And remember, consistency beats intensity. It's what you do regularly, not what you do perfectly, that keeps your body strong. Vitamin D3 may seem small, just another capsule on the shelf, but inside your body, it's a messenger of strength. It tells your muscles you can rebuild. It tells your bones you can stay solid. It reminds your body that even at 60, 70, or beyond, growth and repair still belong to you. And once you begin to align your routine with this rhythm, you'll start to notice the quiet victories. Mornings that feel lighter, steps that feel steadier, and a confidence that comes from knowing your body is still capable and always has been. Now that we've awakened your body's repair signal with vitamin D3, let's move to its quiet partner, a mineral that often works behind the scenes, yet is just as essential for strength and recovery. It's called zinc, and I like to think of it as the body's silent rebuilder. Every night, while you sleep, your body performs thousands of small repair jobs. Muscle fibers damaged during the day are stitched back together, new cells are formed, and hormones coordinate the rebuilding process. But here's something most people don't realize: nearly every step in that repair process depends on zinc. Zinc activates more than 300 enzymes responsible for muscle regeneration, tissue growth, and hormone balance. It's like the project manager that keeps your entire repair team running on schedule. When zinc levels drop, and they do, for nearly 40% of women over 60, that team slows down. Protein synthesis becomes less efficient, and the muscle fibers that should have rebuilt overnight remain weak and tired. During deep sleep, your body naturally releases growth hormones, your most powerful tools for muscle repair. But those hormones can only do their job if zinc is present. Without enough zinc, the hormone's message to rebuild never fully arrives. You might still sleep, but the healing part of that sleep, the true restoration, never quite happens. Researchers at the University of Michigan followed 120 older adults who were deficient in zinc. After 12 weeks of gentle zinc supplementation, about 20 milligrams daily, they measured a 34% increase in muscle protein synthesis and 40% faster recovery from mild exercise. The difference wasn't youth, it was nutrients. I saw something similar in Ruth, one of my clients, a 70-year-old retired nurse. She was strong in spirit, but frustrated by her slow recovery. "I can walk 2 miles," she said, "but it takes me 3 days to stop feeling sore." We checked her diet: healthy, balanced, but low in zinc. Her breakfast was oatmeal and fruit. Her dinners were light salads. There was almost no zinc in her daily routine. We made one small change. She began taking 20 milligrams of zinc with a full glass of water 2 hours before bedtime, far enough away from her calcium and iron, which can block zinc absorption. And she added a handful of pumpkin seeds or a small portion of seafood twice a week. Within 2 weeks, she started noticing subtle shifts. Her soreness faded faster. Her sleep felt deeper. And her morning energy, that quiet, "I can do this" feeling, returned. She wasn't doing more. Her body was finally doing what it was designed to do all along: rebuild. That's the power of zinc: small, steady, foundational. But like all nutrients, balance matters. Taking too much zinc for too long can lower another important mineral: copper. These two are partners, just like vitamin D3 and K2. Zinc builds, copper helps your blood carry oxygen and supports connective tissue. So, if you plan to supplement zinc for more than a few months, make sure your diet includes copper-rich foods like nuts, seeds, cocoa, or shellfish. Or simply take a short break every few months to let your body reset. Another key factor is timing. Many people take their zinc supplement right after dinner. But here's the catch: calcium, iron, and even fiber can block its absorption. To get the most from zinc, take it with plain water, at least 2 hours after your last meal. Ideally, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This gives your body time to absorb and circulate it before the deep sleep cycle begins. Let's talk about how zinc affects something women rarely connect it to: mood and sleep quality. Zinc is involved in producing melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle. Low zinc levels can make it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep, even when you feel tired. That's why many women who struggle with both muscle loss and insomnia are unknowingly low in zinc. When zinc levels improve, sleep deepens, and when sleep deepens, muscle repair finally gets the time it needs to happen. I remember another client, June, age 68. She wasn't sleeping well and blamed it on aging. We discovered her zinc intake was less than half the recommended amount. Once she added a small zinc supplement and improved her dinner timing, she started sleeping through the night for the first time in years. She told me, "I didn't realize how much my body was trying to talk to me. I just wasn't listening." For food-based sources, zinc is plentiful in options that fit many diets. A small portion of seafood like shrimp, crab, or salmon adds a meaningful boost. For plant-based diets, pumpkin seeds, lentils, chickpeas, and cashews are all excellent choices. If you're on a vegetarian plan, pair them with vitamin C foods earlier in the day to enhance absorption, but remember to keep those away from bedtime, since vitamin C can be mildly stimulating. A word of reassurance: you don't have to chase perfection. Zinc is not about doing more, it's about doing right. Even a small, consistent habit can make a meaningful difference. The body of a 65-year-old woman is not broken. It's wise. It responds slowly, but faithfully, once you give it what it needs. If you're taking any medications, especially antibiotics or blood pressure medicines, it's best to check with your doctor before starting a zinc supplement. Some medications can interact, and your provider can guide you on timing safely. Now, let's step back for a moment and see how this connects to everything we've talked about. Vitamin D3 helps your body signal repair, turning on the lights for muscle and bone rebuilding. Zinc is the craftsman that does the work once the lights are on. D3 says, go. Zinc says, build. And when you give your body both in balance and at the right time, you turn your nights into a quiet workshop of healing. For women over 60, that's not just science, it's empowerment. It's realizing that your body is still capable of growth, still capable of strength, and still listening to you, even now. Because real strength doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from understanding when to let your body do the work it's been waiting to do all along. Now that you know which nutrients can quietly help your body rebuild overnight, it's just as important to understand which ones can work against that process, not because they're bad, but simply because they're taken at the wrong time. Let's start with the first vitamin B complex. Many women take B vitamins faithfully because they've been told they're great for energy, nerve health, and metabolism, and that's true. But the key word here is energy. Vitamin B6, B12, niacin, and riboflavin are all natural stimulants. They help your body create energy during the day. When you take them too late, especially after dinner, they can keep your brain active long after you're ready to rest. B vitamins raise alertness and slightly increase heart rate. That's useful in the morning when you need energy to move, but at night, it works against you. Your body needs to shift into parasympathetic mode, your rest and repair state. But when your nervous system stays stimulated, you spend less time in deep, slow wave sleep, the exact window when your muscles and bones rebuild. I once worked with Evelyn, a 74-year-old woman who couldn't understand why she felt wired every night. She was taking her B-complex supplement right after dinner because that's what the label said once daily with a meal. When she switched it to breakfast, her sleep deepened within a week, and her energy actually improved during the day. Sometimes the fix isn't more, it's timing. The second supplement to be cautious with at night is vitamin C. We often think of vitamin C as harmless, a booster for immunity, skin, and healing. But here's what most people don't know. Vitamin C is a strong antioxidant. And while that's great for protecting cells, it can actually blunt your body's natural repair signal if taken too close to bedtime. Here's why. During the night, your muscles experience a little bit of oxidative stress, a tiny spark that tells your body, hey, it's time to rebuild. That mild stress triggers growth hormones and muscle protein synthesis. But if you flood your system with vitamin C right before bed, that signal can fade, delaying recovery. It's not dangerous, just counterproductive. In one study on older adults, high antioxidant intake before sleep reduced the body's ability to activate mTOR, the pathway that helps your muscles use protein to grow. That's why I recommend keeping vitamin C earlier in the day with breakfast or lunch, where it can still do its job supporting collagen and immunity without getting in the way of your nighttime repair cycle. The third and final supplement to avoid before bed is one that hides in plain sight: caffeine. Now, you might think, I don't drink coffee at night, but caffeine sneaks into many other products: green tea, chocolate, even fat burner or energy supplements. And while caffeine can be helpful in small doses during the morning, it becomes one of the biggest obstacles to recovery at night. Caffeine stimulates your central nervous system and raises cortisol, the stress hormone that tells your body to stay alert. When cortisol levels stay high in the evening, your body can't fully enter deep sleep. And without deep sleep, your growth hormones never peak. Your muscles lose their prime time to heal. A study from Nutritional Neuroscience tracked older adults who consumed caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime. Those who did lost nearly 30% more lean muscle over 10 weeks compared to caffeine-free participants, even though they ate the same diet. The culprit wasn't age or exercise. It was lost sleep. For women over 60, this matters more than ever. Deep sleep isn't just rest, it's your body's factory of repair. So if you're using any evening supplement labeled energy, fat burner, or pre-workout, take a moment to read the label. Look for caffeine, guarana, or green tea extract, and keep those for the morning. These 3B complex, vitamin C, and caffeine aren't your enemies. They're simply out of sync with your body's natural rhythm. When you take them at the right time, they serve you beautifully. But when you take them too late, they quietly steal from the very thing you're working to protect: your rest, your strength, and your independence. Because for women over 60, sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's nightly act of healing, and it deserves a clear, calm space to do its work. There's one more piece to this puzzle that every woman over 60 should understand, something I call the menopause muscle triangle. It's made up of 3 quiet forces that shape how your body feels after menopause: estrogen, sleep, and muscle. Each one affects the other, and when one slips, the others follow. When estrogen levels fall, and they naturally do, your body loses some of its natural protection for bones and muscle fibers. Estrogen helps your muscles use amino acids efficiently and keeps your joints flexible. But once it declines, you may notice stiffness, slower recovery, or that frustrating sense of weak legs even after light exercise. At the same time, estrogen also helps regulate serotonin and melatonin, the hormones that influence your sleep rhythm. That's why so many women in their 60s tell me, I sleep, but I don't rest. When sleep becomes shallow, your body spends less time in the deep repair phase, where growth hormones rebuild your tissues. The key is not to fight this triangle, but to balance it. That means supporting your body's new rhythm with gentle habits that work with it, not against it. Here's a simple pre-bed checklist that can make a real difference. Take a warm shower to relax your muscles. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Do 2 minutes of ankle pumps and gentle heel raises beside your bed. Then, breathe deeply, 4 counts in, 6 counts out to calm your heart rate. These small acts tell your body, it's safe to rest now. And when your body feels safe, it repairs itself. Night after night, quietly, beautifully, just as nature intended. If there's one message I hope you carry with you tonight, it's this: your nights are not just for rest, they're for renewal. Everything your body does during the day, the walking, the cooking, the caring for others, is balanced by what it rebuilds while you sleep. That's the moment when vitamin D3 and zinc quietly go to work. When your muscles, bones, and hormones begin their delicate dance of repair. And when you protect that window by nourishing, not overstimulating your body, you give yourself back the strength that time seemed to steal. Let's make this simple. Here's your nighttime recovery plan: gentle, realistic, and made for women over 60. First, your dinner. Keep it light but rich in nutrients. A palm-sized portion of protein salmon, tofu, or eggs paired with vegetables and a little healthy fat. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein with about 2 to 3 grams of leucine. That's the sweet spot for muscle repair. Add a small serving of complex carbs like quinoa or sweet potato to steady your blood sugar through the night. Next, your supplements. Take your vitamin D3, ideally 2,000 to 4,000 IU, with that dinner meal, alongside a food that contains some fat. If your doctor agrees, include vitamin K2 to guide calcium into your bones where it belongs. Then, about 2 hours later, when your stomach is mostly empty, take 15 to 20 milligrams of zinc with a glass of water. No caffeine, no calcium, no iron, just calm hydration. Your environment matters too. Lower the lights after 9 p.m. Keep your bedroom cool around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Try to keep electronics away. And if you can, play soft instrumental music or the sound of ocean waves. Your body listens to that rhythm more deeply than you think. Before you get into bed, spend 5 minutes doing what I call the fall-proof routine. Stand near your bed or a wall. Raise your heels 10 times. Shift your weight gently from side to side. Then draw small circles with your ankles. These simple moves strengthen your balance and ankle stability, protecting your hips and knees from falls, one of the quiet fears many women carry but rarely say out loud. Finally, when you lie down, place one hand on your chest and one on your abdomen. Take a slow breath in through your nose for 4 counts. Then exhale through your mouth for 6. Feel your body settle. Tell yourself, I am safe, I am strong, I am healing. Because you are. Every night is an opportunity, a natural reset that doesn't depend on youth or willpower, only on rhythm and care. You don't need to chase strength anymore. You just need to let your body remember how to rebuild it. And when you wake up tomorrow lighter, steadier, more at peace, you'll know the healing didn't happen by chance. It happened because you finally gave your nights back to your body. Tomorrow morning, when sunlight touches your window, I want you to take a moment, just one quiet moment, before you reach for your phone or pour your coffee. Stand by that light. Let it warm your face. Take a breath, slow and deep. That simple act tells your body it's a new rhythm now, because what you began tonight, aligning your nutrients, your rest, and your breath doesn't end when you open your eyes. It continues. Morning light helps your body reset its internal clock, guiding your hormones, strengthening your bones, and preparing your muscles for another day of graceful movement. You've learned how vitamin D3 and zinc can quietly work for you while you sleep. You've seen how timing, not quantity, can change everything. And now, your body knows the rhythm again. It just needed you to listen. If this message touched you, if it reminded you that your body is still capable of renewal, I'd love to know. Leave a comment below and type number 1 if tonight you're ready to begin your nighttime recovery routine. Because everyone tells another woman she's not alone, that healing after 60 isn't only possible, it's natural. And together, one night at a time, we'll prove that strength doesn't fade with age. It simply changes its rhythm. This is Secrets to Health, helping women over 60 stay strong, balanced, and beautifully independent.